What's up? It's your girl Cole, and I want to welcome y'all to the Porch today. Today we're going to be chopping it up about the disconnect between black men and black women, and the growing trend of Megan Thee Stallions and Jocelyn Hernandez, and the sexualization of black women, and if that plays a role in men not seeing them as wife material. I don't know what y'all think. I got some people joining me on the porch today, and we're going to chop it up about that. Y'all stay tuned.
Here we go! It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time. I can see it. I can feel it. Time has come now to reveal it.
What's up, everybody? I want to welcome y'all to the first episode of Cole's Porch. Today I got my peoples on the porch chilling with me. I got Marco the poet, I got Adina, and I got Malcolm. And today we're going to chop it up about a couple of things. So how y'all feeling today? Great.
Feeling 100.
Beautiful day.
Yeah, beautiful
City
day.
opening back up some. We can finally do some activities and everything. But let's go and get into this. So what do you all think about the disconnect between black men and black women? Or is there a disconnect? I'm going to let you go first, Marco.
From my standpoint, it's a spiritual issue. You know, relationships are spiritual, and we need to see it as a sacred entity. And because many of us are not connected to our sacredness, and we're getting farther and farther from our center, then our relationships are shattering, because we don't have a strong sense of who we are. And so when we discover more about who we are and what makes us tick, then our relationships will strengthen. And so I really, you know, I'm not trying to preach, but I'm trying to suggest that, you know, like our grandparents, they came from the South. One of the first things to find was a church. And there was a respect for the church. You didn't cuss in front of the church. Matter of fact, if you saw an adult, you didn't cuss while you was on the bus. You know, nowadays, I mean, we getting farther and farther from our moral compass. And so, I don't mean to start it off so.
But I mean, I
deep.
agree with you there, but I would say go further than the church, because it's just the house, you know what I'm saying? It goes to the house, because without the father there, without the mother there, you know what I'm saying, or vice versa, whatever, it's imbalance anyway.
But you know, I found out how to be a man in the church. So,
but
my father was on drugs.
But that should be at home.
Right.
That should have started at home first, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that's where it started. And it's a multitude of things, you know what I'm saying? It's not just one thing. I just feel like the start though is the house, you know what I'm saying? Because like you said, you learned it at church, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for I want to say me, it was at home, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know,
y'all
my old
learned it
man.
at home. You learned it at home, and then you get the backup of the church.
Right. The reinforce, you know,
reinforcing what
reinforcing.
your parents give.
So,
But if you don't have a parent there to do that, then
the church should be the next best thing.
that would. But
go
everybody don't go to church. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like, where do you go? Like, do you learn it from the neighborhood? Is it the neighbor? Is it the neighborhood? Is it, you know what I'm saying, the guy stay across the street? Like, where you know, where is it? Right there, it's a disconnect, because like you know what I'm saying, you go to church and you find it, but what about the people that don't go to church?
True.
You know what I'm saying? How do they get it?
So what you think the disconnect is between?
I think the disconnect is sometimes a lot of homes there's no foundation. You don't have the church foundation, so you only know what you see on the street. And one of the biggest things that I see about the disconnection between a black man and a black woman sometimes can be our overbearing personalities. Us being so demanding and so just wanting what we want, and then sometimes being too independent hurts the relationships that we can have with men. So I think the just not being on the same page, and just us just not really having nobody to structure us or tell us how to be or what to do kind of makes us get our own opinion about each other, or basically really about how black women are, and then people just kind of take that and run with it and feel like, oh, I'm not going to date, or I don't want to deal with a black woman because she has a strong personality, so I'm going to go get somebody else with like a weaker personality, or someone that's going to let me do whatever that I want to do because I don't want to have to deal with it. Because maybe I dealt with that growing up. Maybe I had 20 sisters and they were all so overbearing. So when it's my turn to go out into the world to be with somebody, it's like I don't want to deal with that, so I'm not going to deal with anybody that, you know.
So going back to your disrespect, like how you were saying, and I had, you know, we witness it all the time. And I was in some store, and the lady was telling another young lady that she shouldn't have said something, or whatever she said. But the mom was upset that she was talking to her daughter that way. You know what I'm saying? And back when our parents was coming up, you know, it was people chastise each other's kids, and you know, and verbal or, you know, physical. You know what I'm saying? So, but nowadays, you know, the cat's like, you disrespecting my kid, you know what I'm saying, or my child, or whatever, and they snap out.
Yeah. People press in front of the church, they don't take their hat off when they come inside. So all of those
Just
things,
the
I feel
basic
like it's
stuff,
lost.
opening doors, you know what I'm saying, letting women go first out the elevator, just, you know, just the regular normal stuff that, you know what I'm saying, you probably was taught, but the average person probably wasn't taught, you know what I'm saying, I don't know. You
And
know?
the parents are coming up to the school disrespecting the teachers.
Disrespecting the teachers, you know what I'm saying?
And then if you try to correct the kid in the school, he talking about he gonna call DCFS. You know, so the kid is becoming more and more manipulative.
Right.
And they playing the system to the point where they're not getting the discipline that's needed in order to become a man, to become a woman.
Mm-hmm. So, having that father there, do you think that having a father there can be more important than, like, an effective father, more important than
I say both
mom
parents. I'm not
or-
saying a mother or father, because we all know a lot of mothers raise a lot of children, you know what I'm saying, and the dad's not there. So
We see what's
I'm
going
not
on.
yeah, I'm not gonna say that, but I'm just gonna say you need both parents, you know what I'm saying? You need both
And I feel
parents
like
there
that's
because you get a different perspective from each.
Yeah, but that's a
You know
case
what
by
I'm
case
saying?
scenario, because I got a girlfriend, she grew up in Cabrini Green, and she has 4 children. One of them was was like an intern for Hillary Clinton. The other one is a teacher. Like, she raised 4 beautiful children on her own by herself, coming out of Cabrini Green, kept a job. So
That's 2 ladies though. That's a lady raising her daughter.
She has 2 sons.
She got what?
She has 2 sons.
Yeah. Okay.
So she has 2 sons. So she had 3 sons and 1 daughter, and raised some amazing adults. So I feel like a lot of it is just case by case scenario. But she got that because she came from a 2-parent home. So even though she was a single parent, she did what she could for her kids and got them to a certain extent. So it's the father definitely plays a bigger role now that I think about it. It has to be.
I mean, we already know that. That's
male
a given
presence.
fact. That's what I'm saying. I don't even want to dwell on
And
that,
it's a
but just the
balance.
fact, you just need a balance. Yeah, you need a balance. A yin and a yang, you know what I'm saying? You need that balance. And you
Okay.
can't get that balance if it's just one parent, you know what I'm saying?
I can agree with that. I've heard though that
But you get some drug dealers that make it slip through the crack, you know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, it just happened like that, you know what I'm saying?
I've heard from several people though that an effective father can be more of an influence than even having a mom there. Like, even if the mom is effective or whatever, if the dad is fully involved and immersed in.
Now, what if they did studies on just the dads that's raising their daughters and sons, you know what I'm saying? And see what the numbers are on that, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Because that could be not effective sometimes too.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
truly feel like it's about wisdom, because whether it's the mother, it's not that the mother is more important or less important.
Right.
The father is more important,
Right.
less important. It's not a competition. We do live in a generation where a lot of times it's a single parent that's raising a child,
Right.
and there's an imbalance. But when there's the imbalance, what do? I think in that situation, because things happen.
Right.
It don't work out with the daddy.
Right.
Y'all don't like each other. Y'all was young, something happened. That's life. It's gonna happen. It's normal. But in the midst of it, how do you bounce back from that? And I really think it's about wisdom. It's about making sure that your child has a balance, not just sitting your son in the hair salon around a whole bunch of women and he's picking up all these different traits from a woman and he never sees a man. Getting your child involved in school and extracurricular activities, being, making sure that you're intentional in regards to your son being around other men, other boys, so I think, we're getting more and more off-centered and stuff is imbalanced and it's manifesting. And now we live in cities that, people are hating each other. They're jealous of each other. They're seeking revenge for everything that's done to them. They're not walking in forgiveness or anything like that. So now that stuff breaks out into the street and the violence numbers, and every time you look at the news, the numbers going up. So I think it's about wisdom. If it's not working for us, then we need to readjust and do something that works, because this ain't working.
But what do you suggest that you do? Like, what's the steps in taking that next step?
Yeah, because I want to say this. I do see it a lot, especially with my daughter's male friends. The ones that don't have like fathers, they're very emotional. You know what I mean? Like, they're not soft, but they react to things in an emotional way. When you learn how to be practical from a man, for instance, like, I'm not gonna, instead of me expressing, I don't like how you did that or said that to me, they'll just stop talking to you, like a woman, or something like that. And so I think one of the things that can help is mentoring, because like my daughters are in a mentoring program, and not to knock, white people or Asian people, but like all the mentors are white or Asian. I think I've seen like one black man as a mentor, and most of the children are black boys, black girls, Latino boys, Latino girls. So yeah, what is the solution? Because it seems like black people don't have time to give back.
That is true. It does seem like that. And I'm just being real, because I have been in that situation before, you know what I'm saying? While I was a mentor, and I felt myself spending, as the time went on, I was, instead of me spending more time with him, I was spending less time. And yeah, I was just like, and like you said, we feel like we don't have time. And that's something that we need to change, because you can make time for basically whatever you want to do. So if that's something you want to do, then you should be able to make time for it.
Yeah, I noticed some people that are doing pretty well for themselves financially have a little more time because they're not stressing.
Right.
They're not working 2-3 jobs.
Right.
So I noticed that some people are very disciplined and they make the time for mentorship. But I see other people that don't have the time because they work at 3 jobs. They don't even have the time for their kids. And I think the pandemic has showed us how off-centered we have gotten.
Exactly.
And it's like, dag, okay, I'm learning who my kids are for real.
Right.
Like, I ain't know you was this. You know what I'm saying?
And I think I want to say one of my reasons was that I spend a lot of time with my family. You know what I'm saying? So I know that is one of the times, especially when you start getting in sports and, your kids start playing sports and, all type of stuff. So it is hard to squeeze in. But like I said, if you make time, you can squeeze it in.
Your father was there.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Your father was always there?
Oh, yeah. So I'm, like, just like my son. I mean, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Daddy kept us in line for sure. If it had just been my
no
mama,
yelling out the car, like we couldn't roll the window down and yell out the car at somebody, just basic stuff, you know what I'm saying? But people don't tell their kids nowadays, you know what I'm saying? And you can say, the drugs, the crack epidemic, and then you had all these young women having kids at a young age. They treating them as if they're their kids, you know what I'm saying, or friend rather than they sons or daughter. So it's just like those relationships be messed up too. So it's like now you got those kids growing up, they don't answer to anybody. You know, all while they was in school getting in trouble, the mother was on their side. You know what I'm saying? You know, so
Yeah.
now, you know, they out here like, man.
You just don't. That's like the cycle. You gotta break
Yeah.
the cycle.
But
So-
see, go ahead.
They're like you got to break the cycle of generational curses of just having that. Okay, I didn't have a dad, so you don't have a dad. You don't have a mentor. Just it's like I said, it's just the seed of the problem is that it started at home. You don't have that home foundation, the mother, the father, and not so much even in the same household. Just somebody that's there that's showing you either a father figure or a mother figure to guide you, to mentor you. Like you said, people don't have time for mentorship. But if you don't have that, then we just continue to have this cycle of people that creates an environment where we do have the disconnect between men and women.
And I think the uncles are important. We underestimating uncles.
Just
Like,
family.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Family, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, and I'm not gonna say that because I do see a lot of family that step up, and people just don't know, so it's not known, and they don't say anything. But I think family members do a lot, and some hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, you know, family usually pull it out for each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I had a sister. I'm sorry. I had a sister. She reached out to me online and she asked me if I possibly could take her sons out fishing.
Okay.
I say, well, you know, you got a family and things like that. She say, well, you know, my brother has been promising my son to go fishing for years since he was a little boy, and just never takes him.
took 'em. Yeah.
Like, so I can't really rely on my brother. So, I mean, I don't really get all that emotional, but something like that could bring you into tears. Like, okay, you got a brother, and you okay, so you feel like you a single parent, and no man is willing in your family to step up
Take him
and
out.
take the responsibility. And then there's the other attitude, well, you made that bed, lay in it. You know, that's not my responsibility. I mean, I didn't sleep with him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So why should I take on the responsibility that you helped create?
Yeah.
Right.
You do have people like
Yeah.
that.
Hey.
But you know what? Me personally, I mean, honestly, I probably would have took them out fishing, you know, with another little group of cats, you know, just made
Yeah.
a little outing, you know what I'm saying? Call some of my guys, you know, we come bring the little grill or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have thought, me personally, it's just regular life to me. I wouldn't
Right.
have thought nothing extra about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just been like, well, that's on your brother. You know what I'm saying? When you want him to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It's
saying? Like,
yeah,
I
feel
don't
like
care.
That's a catch-22, but sometimes I feel like
You
that.
know,
like,
but I know a lot of people that feel that way. Like, man, you got people in your family and they don't want to do
Right.
nothing.
Yeah, I feel like it's a catch-22, but sometimes I feel like that too. Like it's a choice you made. Like Father's Day just passed, and people, you know, you always see the memes and the posts about don't down talk your child's father because this is the choice you made.
Wow.
And it's kind of like you want people. I want to tell people that because I want them to be held accountable for the choices that they made, because you should have made a better choice. But because it's a choice you made, you got to figure it out. And all the time, society or a friend or someone else is not going to save you. You got to figure it out for yourself, because everybody, like you said, got their own thing going. We working 3 jobs. We got our own kids. We got our own family. We trying to care for, you know, a parent or whatever. So we're not going to have time for the next person. So we have to be responsible for the choices that we make to figure out how we can get our kids fishing and figure out how we can get them to soccer on our own, because people doing it every day.
It is,
Yeah,
but it means more when you have a village. Also, you have to take into account that, because what I've been finding is my daughter's been making friends with a lot of people who coming from like bogus backgrounds, like their mother is bogus or like the father not there, and they like latching on to us. And it's funny to me because, you know, I ain't never like shorties growing up. I always like, I ain't never having no shorties. You know what I'm saying? And so for like these children to be like gravitating towards us and our family and calling me mine and all this other stuff, I just try to impart in them when I'm in their presence what I can.
You
For instance, the little
it's
boy
like-
that did her video. It was 4 little boys. I call them little boys. They 17, 18. None of them
They
had
ain't little.
curfews. But I'm just saying, none of them had curfews. You still live at home. None of them
They
had
get charged
curfews.
and go to prison.
Yeah.
Hey, boy.
But I'm just
What's
saying,
up?
none of them had curfews.
Can't
and you
bring
live
us
at
3
home.
waters.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I understand you might be making your own little money and doing your own little thing, but, and when I was talking to them, they was looking at me like I was being invasive by asking them their name, what school they go to, how
Because
old
they,
I-
other parents don't
Right.
even care
they,
about that.
they like, they
probably
looking at
don't
me
even
like,
meet
you
they
asking all these
parents.
questions for. I
Yeah.
said, what y'all like used to talking to your parents? They like, nah. I'm like, that's foreign to me. Because my parents
Yeah.
was involved in every
And
aspect,
everything.
that, especially with
Everything
music,
was.
they was involved in everything we did.
Man,
You know,
everywhere.
so, did anybody else want to share anything on that before we switch gears?
Oh, you talking about the Megan thing?
Now,
I
I
don't
want to.
even know
This is
who
what
the
I
other
want to do.
chick is. Who the other
I
chick?
want to. We ain't got that yet.
I want to share something to that notion. This porch is powerful. And why it's so powerful is because it's where your kids chill at with their friends.
We was always on the porch.
Yeah. So like my elderly uncle who came from Arkansas is a part of the Great Migration story. He mentioned to me sitting on the porch with his friends, he said, you know what? Every time my friends sat on my mama's porch, my mama fed all of them. She cooked for all of them. Even if they wasn't her kids, they made sure all of them was fed. He said, I went to my friend's porch and they eating in my face. I'm hungry, my stomach growling, I'm watching them eat.
Yeah.
And I noticed that their mama wasn't like that.
Right.
You know, and so I think that we need to start considering and getting some of that old school back.
But you know what's weird is, and I heard Alicia Keys she was with some group, and there was a new song she came out with, and she was basically singing, saying that all this time I've been trying to be the person that you want me to be, but really I just want to be myself. Basically, that's what she was saying at the end. So
Okay.
all of the stuff that she was doing, she was not basically being herself. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of women feel in that way, like, oh, I don't need to do this no more, the old school way type stuff. You know what I'm saying? They feel, like she said, independent, and they just want to do their own thing and say whatever.
That's a great. That's a great. That's a great
You know what I'm
transition
saying?
to the
Oh,
next
that's
subject.
right.
So, you know, you got the Megan Thee Stallions, and don't get me wrong, you know, we had the little Kims and whatever, but we also had like the Queen Latifahs to balance it out. We had the MC Lights. We had, you know what I'm saying, it was a balance there. Now it seems to be just that type of one image when it comes to the black woman. Even with the married black women, you know, you got Beyonce out here with a booty cheeks out, and you know, you got Megan
One
Thee
of the booty
Stallion.
cheeks out when they
You
first
got,
started.
but I'm saying she married now. I'm saying now it just seems to be this like
But they
one
entertainers.
image. You know, but it
What
don't-
entertainer, you know,
So that's
switched
what-
their
that's
style
what-
after they got
exactly.
married?
That's what I want to say. Is
I'm
that,
just asking. I
Alicia
don't
Keys
know.
will.
Is
I
that
don't
the
know.
characters that-
That's why I'm asking. Do you
That's-
know any?
Alicia Keys.
So
I
this
ain't
what I
heard
wanna
her
say.
besides since a couple days ago in a long time.
Beyonce switched her style. She started rapping like Jay-Z and all
Yeah,
that.
she
started
did
rapping.
cursing and all that.
So
Yeah.
this is what I want to say.
Okay.
This is that each one of those women have a character that they play. Because when I get on the stage and everything that they do is for money. It's not when they go home at night, when they hang out with their friends, when they really go to a serious dinner with their husband. They're not dressed like that. They're not talking like that. They're not acting like that. Everything that they do is for money, and that's why I respect every single one of them. That's why every single one of them could be a role model for me, because they're doing something. Whatever your hustle is, I'm okay with it. Whatever your hustle is, because this is how you're gonna get paid. Just have a hustle. If I do nails, it's a hustle. If I
So if I'm selling
if I do
bogus stock to
nails,
somebody,
it's
that's your hustle.
It's a hustle.
If I'm selling
And if I got a short
mask
cheek,
to somebody,
it's
it's
a
a
hustle.
hustle.
It's not like they naked. Look at the fitness models. What makes them so different than a Beyonce? Showing off, yeah, she work out. Showing off, yeah, this is what I got to do to make the dollar that I got to make. So I feel like them doing that is not really who they are, but this is what they do for their careers. When I'm at work, That's what I do for work. When I get home, I don't act like that. It's like, they talk about the hats. How many hats you wear?
Yeah.
You got a hat. You take off your hat. You got your sister hat. You got your wife hat. You got your hat that's just my Nicole hat. So.
But I agree, like some people feel like you can't have every dollar, so I'm not finna, some people say sell they soul,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna look at you no differently. I mean, that's like comparing Jay-Z to Nas, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if you want to compare them, you know what I'm saying? But
Two totally different.
two
Well,
totally, you know what I'm saying?
What's your
One went one way, one went the other way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna knock either one of them, but I mean, the end result is the end result. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to hear your take on it.
Yeah. Well, Cardi B was a stripper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cardi
Yeah,
B.
Cardi.
We talking about Cardi B?
I mean, all of them.
Oh,
Cardi,
okay.
Megan, all of them.
Okay, yeah, she was a stripper.
She's a stripper, and I understand this is what you do for money. But if I got little daughters, and you got little daughters that are looking up to you as a role model, an example, this is when it gets conflicted. I understand you got to do your things for money, but even the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. And so, all right, so you doing your evil for money,
Yep.
and then you like a light switch, you cut it on and cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
Then when the camera rolling, you cut it on, and then but I'm not like this off of the camera. Yeah, but
It's a lot of pastors like that.
yeah, but
There's a lot of everybody like that.
but
though.
mass media
lot of everybody.
is distributing this to
Right.
the world,
To the world.
and little babies sitting on the
Yeah.
couch
But that's
That's
why
That's up to
emulating
the
this
parent.
But exactly. That's
To
why you
let
got
them
home
watch that
space
stuff or
to
not.
let them understand that these people on TV is just like that. It's just like Disney and the Princess. That's not real. This is not what they do. It's not real. It's for entertainment.
If it's
purposes
not
only.
real, why is mama looking just like Cardi?
Because it's
And why is she
entertainment.
doing? Why she?
Oh, you saying
doing,
why she
I'm-
looking like that?
She looking just like
with
Cardi.
The, with the nails and the eyelashes and stuff.
In my perspective, I feel like it's a syndication of women. It's not a unique woman. It's like the thing that's attractive to me as a man is to see a woman that stands out. She stands out. She has her own style. She is not emulating or copying anyone. And when I see a woman like that, ooh, like something
But
in
that's
me.
you.
I'm
You
talking
know what
about
I'm
me.
saying? Yeah.
I'm talking about me.
Right.
I'm saying
When-
when I see that woman walk down the sidewalk, something in me leap because it's like, dang, she is peculiar. She is unique. She is different. She not modeling nobody. She not following the trend of nobody.
Right.
But when I look at the aspect of women today, it's a syndication of women. It's like everybody wearing the same Brazilian weave. You know, everybody got the same style. Everybody got them lashes cuffed up. Everybody,
It's a trend.
everybody.
Yeah,
You know
the
what?
trend.
Even
It's a trend.
Yeah,
even
the trend.
even with the makeup is making you look like the same woman.
Say it's
It's
a
a
trend.
trend just like in the 70s. Everybody had a fro and had on psychedelic pants. And it's a trend that just comes. It comes
Says
and it goes.
eventually it's gonna go.
Eventually it's
Somebody
gonna go,
else
and it'll
gonna
be
come with
something
something.
else.
It'd be some other hot artist with another
Right, and it's
trend or something. You know what I'm
But
saying?
do you think that contributes to
All of that contributes
men
to everything.
not seeing black women especially as wife material, and it's just something to lay down with, you
Well,
know, and then you
Well,
end up
I don't
making
think
you
they
depends
see
on if
they
they
themselves
carry-
as wife material.
depends on
That's
if they
number
carry
one. I don't
themselves
think the
as
woman
such.
see themselves as wife material.
It
Like,
depends on if they carry themselves as such. Because you could see it. Because I know
So
some,
Cardi B carried herself like she was a wife material.
so we don't know
No,
what
she
she
just
did.
carried herself
She
as
just carried
herself.
herself. But a wife material for who she's a wife for.
It's
For her
somebody.
audience,
It's somebody
she
for
did.
everybody out here.
For her audience, she did.
It's somebody
Because
for
sometimes you can
everybody
see
out
that
here.
girl and she can have this Brazilian weave, she can have this, but she could be that could just be the look that she wants to have. But once you get to know her and you like, dang, she got, man, we on the same thing. Or she go to church every Sunday. But dang, when I saw it was on a Friday night and she had on her booty shorts, and she turned it off. And Sunday morning, she had on the church clothes. She was at church and she praised the Lord and she loves God just like you do. But we don't know because everything is a perception.
And I can agree with that because even with my own daughter, you know, the weaves and the nails and the lashes. Oh my gosh.
But then, yeah.
And I know that's not who she, because I know her.
Right.
But like he says, when she's walking down the street, for instance, she
That's
walks down
the
47th
perception.
Street to go to, you know, to
Of
fish
what-
or whatever.
yeah.
The perception is, hey, shawty, hey, you know, you going like the rest of the people on 47th Street.
Right.
And I don't like that. But I'm trying to let her, you know, go through her phase and mature. And hopefully by the time she, you know, 25, 30, she won't be, you know, but.
I've always been conflicted with Cardi B. I feel like she don't get the criticism that a Nicki Minaj get.
No, she don't. Because
Like Nicki Minaj was heavily criticized for anything on her body that might have been fake or adjusted
Right.
or inflated. She got
But she
heavily
didn't start out as a
heavily
stripper.
criticized.
But
Cardi B starts off as a stripper,
Right.
and
So you already know what that entails.
and she got all this
She gonna
fake
back
stuff. But because she's on Instagram or Twitter, like celebrating the fact that she got all this fake stuff, we criticize her less.
Right.
And we make her the center of hip hop and like the queen of hip hop when she didn't go through the same sacrifices that a Nicki Minaj
You know
went
why?
through.
Because Cardi B was me. Cardi B was her. Cardi B was everybody that grew up on the block with nothing. What? Not I ain't gonna say nothing, but we didn't grow up. We don't have no lavish lifestyle. Our parents wasn't driving, you know, Rolls Royces. We didn't grow up like that. We grew up. Our parents worked. We just grew up in regular households, and that's how Cardi B grew up. And I think the world embraced that because they felt like, oh, I'm Cardi B. Like they felt like from this porch, I could make it like that. Because that's what she did. Yeah, she went from her porch to the strip club to the TV show to now being an artist and a superstar.
Played around the
So
world.
I think that people
Music played around the
like
world.
that. It's like, oh, because that's how I felt about it. When I was watching her on Love and Hip Hop, I was like,
Yeah,
she
I'm not
and
gonna
I
lie.
could tell she has some issues and she had to fight and she had to scratch, she had to scrounge to get where she's at. Well, Nicki Minaj, somebody found her somewhere and brought in just, okay, here you go. But because I think people could relate to Cardi because
She's with Young Money.
they have, you know, either a bad relationship with their mother or, you know, not the best relationship with their sister. I feel like they see themselves in there, so you embrace it more. You're like, oh, you got plastic surgery? Great.
Yeah, she
it's
embraced
okay.
her
Let me get it.
fakeness
You know,
or
and
whatever.
she talks about it because remember 20 years ago, if people got plastic surgery, nobody talked about it. 20 years ago, you got a hair weave, you got it done behind closed doors in another room where nobody saw you.
Yeah.
Well, now it's like people are embracing it more. Like, okay, this is who I am, and yeah, I want to put on a little hair and I want to put a little makeup, but hey, this is me. This is who I want to be. And I think that people being able to feel like they could relate to her because she didn't just come from somewhere, that she came from where we came from.
Literally from
It
the
made
bottom.
her, yeah, she came from the bottom. So you was excited when I seen her go and she was getting this record and stuff. It kind of made me emotional. So I'm like, yes, this girl, she got it. Like that's, I don't care what nobody say. People could criticize her, but I feel like she's black girl magic, just like Lupita.
I thought she Puerto Rican magic.
She is.
Well, that's
she's
Puerto
like,
Rican
yeah.
is black,
A Latino,
you know, black is
Latino
Spanish.
magic.
Right.
But I want to
Sorry.
say this. I want to say this. I like her. She's one of the few that I do like because I did
Cardi.
watch her. Yeah, because I do.
You go to
I
Puerto
did.
Rico though. I mean, Puerto Rico or Cuba, any of those places, man. You'll
Yeah,
see.
black
You'll
and
see the
Spanish.
history,
She hot,
yeah.
creative.
But
I
hold
like
on.
her creative.
I watched her on Love and Hip Hop, and I watched how DJ Self played her.
Yes.
I watched how all the people played
Regular
her,
Problems.
called her music trash.
Yep.
She was sleeping with the man, or that was the storyline, and he wouldn't support her music.
Right.
Yep.
He was playing all these other trash artists over her and everything, and her feelings were
He
hurt. And
missed
she was
out.
just like,
That's
man,
on
why you
him.
couldn't support me? And she put every dime she had
Yeah.
into that Bodak Yellow,
Yeah.
and it just blew up. And so when I saw her blow up like that, I was like, in your face,
Face,
DJ
yeah.
Self.
You
So
was
I-
rooting, you was rooting
Yeah, I was
for her.
rooting for her. I'm not
But
gonna
why
lie.
y'all rooting for what's her name off of the other show?
Who?
That Stevie J was.
Oh, no, she trash.
Michelle K.
No,
or something?
Jocelyn. Her
Jocelyn.
name. You don't know
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn, her name.
Jocelyn.
The video I sent you.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
watched her.
It was just different. She she wasn't.
She didn't have that back. She didn't have that back.
You couldn't
She
relate
had
to
a
her.
backstory.
And you couldn't
Like
relate
you
to
said,
her.
She had a
relate to her.
backstory.
Jocelyn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you couldn't relate to her.
Jocelyn is the problem, yo.
That is the problem.
Hey, Jocelyn.
She
Hey,
is the problem.
hey, one thing that I noticed with Jocelyn, I say, Dad, she got her man back no matter how ratchet he is.
Yeah.
Like,
But she was
like,
that overbearing I'm talking about.
she will demolish you as a woman.
She is that
She will tear you
overbearing.
down. She
Yeah.
will fight you
Yes.
as a woman. She will fight any black woman. And one of them girls, she said, you know, Jocelyn, you don't have no friends.
Yeah,
You don't have no real friends.
Carly.
And I'm like, yeah, I see why she don't have no real friends. And but then I see her, she's so loyal to a treacherous man. She will fight for a treacherous man. Then it made me wonder, Dad, how many women do she represent?
She represent quite a few too.
Yeah.
But I told you that's that.
But
That's
they
the,
didn't support her.
But I told you that's that personality that a lot of black men stay away from, because I grew up in a household with my mother being so strong and my sisters being so strong. So when I go out here, I've been living with strong women my whole life, and she's one of them. And then when people don't want to be with women who are that strong.
But why do
But is
corporate
that strong? Is that strong or is I think
Confrontation.
I think it's a part of weakness.
Man,
'Cause
no
I
time.
can speak from the perspective
I'm
of
gonna say overbearing
you,
personality.
Yeah, you be kind of overbearing, thinking that you're strong, but you're really afraid. You're really afraid to let go and to like really trust. So you have this, well, I do whatever, I'll whoop anybody. I'm big and bad, but it's really due to you being afraid to be, I won't say submissive, and I won't say weak, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It could be a possibility though, because you
I
get
think she
until
on
somebody
point.
get knocked out. Until she get knocked out, then
All right.
you'll know.
Hey, she
You know
ain't
what I'm
met them
saying?
girls on 63rd Street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Bang with her. That'll
They
scrap.
gonna go, hey, I think Jocelyn faker than that thing. I don't even think anything about her real. I think she's a cover. I think it's just exactly what you just said. She is afraid to show her vulnerability, so she tries to portray herself on the outside as strong. But if she meet that girl from 63rd or 79th Street, she gonna get up with her
Right.
on the real way. But
Right.
back to, I want to bring up Lil Kim. Lil Kim came from the bottom.
She blew up though.
But yeah, she blew up. But okay, she altered herself in such a way, and she gets all the criticism. She came from, why she don't get the criticism now to Cardi B? I mean, why she?
I felt like she
But
was
she was
past
getting
that
stuff.
point.
She was getting stuff done before plastic surgery was popular. See, before when you would get your nose done, no one said they got their nose done or got their breasts or anything done. You just came out and you was like, dang, and you like, dang, she got some work done.
Like
but
when
now,
Mike got it done.
people get it and they
You
will
know,
post.
Mike got the little clip.
Can I talk to
You
you?
know what I'm saying?
Just
Got his
people-
nose. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But like you wouldn't talk about getting your nose done. Now you do it and you mention your doctor. Like I went to so and so. Well, before it wasn't. When she did, reason why she got the Christmas, because when she did it, it wasn't popular.
But it's popular, and Lil Kim still gets criticism.
I think because it looks so bad,
It looks
especially with her fake hair. I don't,
And she
no
passed
shade.
that. Like, I felt like she was trying to make a comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
she was trying to make a
Like
comeback.
people had
I
already.
love Little Kim, but
That's a good
let
point.
you as how we left you, and then
Yeah.
you trying to come back on some new stuff, and then you don't look right.
yeah,
So
Yeah, she
I don't know.
yeah, that's true.
Good point. I can't argue. I have no response.
So, I guess we could wrap it up in closing by saying, like, so what's the solution, or is there a solution to bringing it all together? We know what the issues are, within the homes and the.
just gotta break those cycles.
I say yeah, and then
Break those
and the churches, I think they need to step it up,
Need
man.
more involved.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I
Oh, you
feel
believe
like,
in the church?
who?
You.
I believe in the church should be a servant to the community. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the church needs to step it up. I feel like all these churches out here, they just out for themselves. They just trying to like gobble up like that hungry hippo game. You just trying to get all of the marbles, just trying to gobble up all the
Because
people
you got
that
a church
can.
in the community. And they
But
don't do
I'm
that.
like, what do you do with the
For the
community
community.
besides giving out some food or something like that? I mean, that's okay, but you supposed to have programs. You supposed to be out here, you know what I'm saying, engaging the community. You know what I'm saying, doing all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel churches should be. You
Yeah,
know what
they
I'm
should
saying?
have a mentoring program.
Like, yeah, like if you need to do something, you should be able to go to the church for it. You know what I'm saying? If you need if you want to take an IT course or something, yeah, they got community centers, but what about the church? You giving all the money to the church? What the church doing with the money? Put the money back in the community. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my church ain't have a youth ministry. I mean, they had a youth ministry, but it wasn't what we see today. A youth ministry was kind of like the church ladies had kids, and they invited you over their house, and they let you run around in the basement. That was youth ministry.
They ain't do nothing. They
It
just
was
watch.
something
They just
though.
watch. Yeah,
It
they
was
watch the
something
kids.
to invite us to their home and let us be who we are in their basement. In a way, it don't look like ministry, but it was. The fact that somebody loved and cared us enough to embrace us and made sure that we were safe instead of running the streets
Right.
and risking our lives in violence. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the church didn't necessarily have a mentorship program, my church growing up, but when I went to church, it was a mentorship program because I never saw my daddy pray. I never saw my daddy do certain things. And so when I went to church and I saw these black business owners, when I saw the deacon and I know he's well off and he got this going on and he's a family man and he's all these things, even though it wasn't a structured mentorship program, to have that exposure, it was everything.
plus, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, what does a mentorship program look? I mean, is it a program or is it just living your life in such a way that you're touching somebody else's life?
I like that.
Yeah.
Living your
that's
life
cool.
as you touch somebody else's life, for sure.
Yeah, because that's like my daughter's mentors. It's not like they have like these structured, whatever. They just hang out. They may go out to eat, or they may go to when stuff was open, go to Gizmos or go to the trampoline place, just hanging out and just having
And just having
conversations.
guidance and conversations about stuff, yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely agree. Anything you want to say in closing? Okay.
I guess I probably could say I was a mentor. I picked it back up because I was dropping a lot of children off, a lot of young children, all males, every
that's
day
okay.
from school, and we would always have conversations in the car. So
Yeah.
heartfelt conversations. So I guess 2-3 years of doing that.
Yeah.
What you quit? Hey, you 2 or 3, you
Co-
just gave
COVID.
up. Like,
No, this is,
COVID.
one
No
of them
more school.
graduated.
You don't have to go to school.
is out.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
cats
And they
started
do it. One of the little
graduating.
boys
They started
swear.
graduating.
That's his
So
friend. He always be like, did Big Mel come over?
Yeah, but they
That
start
was your friend,
graduating.
right.
So 8th grade and then keep going. So
you know what I want to see? I want to see pop-up schools. I want to see pop-up in a park. I want to see a teacher that says she care about her kids so much that she just goes to the park with a few of her kids, or she tutors them on a regular basis. I'm pretty sure there's teachers out there that's doing it. But it would be great that even in the midst of COVID-19 or this pandemic, that we found ways other than that virtual, because it's a certain disconnect with virtual at times. Keep your social distance, but I feel like, we can come outside and we can go to a park and we can keep our social distance and we can expose our children to stuff that we feel like they're not even learning in school.
right,
Yeah.
but that's what cats should be doing anyway, though. Like I want to say, like, case in point with my family, you know, we talk about and do a lot of stuff that's not school related, just everyday living things, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to know, like, I wasn't taught how to balance a checkbook or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't taught in school, and my mom and dad didn't teach me that. So it's something that I ended up learning on myself, but just, you know, just basic stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like people should be doing that anyway. Like,
But they're not.
They
Yeah,
not.
they're not.
Of course they not. Yeah, of
That's
course
why
they
I'm
not.
starting a program in the fall when school reopens. It's going to be open to, I was originally going to make it just for like, I wanted it to be Afrocentric centered, but I think at this particular time we need to know how to just embrace people, you know? We're all unique. And if you can catch that like middle school age group through high school, I think that can make a big impact. You know, because a lot of them don't have even a safe space to just sit down and talk about what they feeling, what they're going through. Just I've been noticing during the pandemic, you know, parents are still working. They still, you know, having to do certain things, and even still, they don't have a whole lot of time for their children. You know, okay,
This dude carrying this big
for their children
concrete
like
up
that.
the wall.
And so my program is going to center on giving them a safe space to express themselves and, you know, talk about maybe some of the things that they don't normally talk about. Because I know when my fourth graders class, we did a discussion on the George Floyd situation and all of, you know, rioting and protesting things going on. Those fourth graders had a lot to say. I was
But you know what's so
impressed.
funny is, at my son's school, only him and one other student had went out to, you know, had even been out to be exposed to all of that, because everybody else was like, no, we've been in the house.
Wow.
Like, we ain't go out. We don't know what's going on.
See, and that's,
Besides the TV, like, you know what I'm saying? Their parents was like really, you know what I'm saying, sheltered, or, you know, they
Yeah.
didn't want them involved. I don't know, but
exposure is
yeah.
important.
But
And
I
so
was
also like listening to these children, like I said, they have a lot to say, and you know, sometimes they just need somebody to listen to them. So
Yeah.
I
They
feel
like
like
to talk.
it's a disconnect with these teens. I don't know how we
yeah.
gonna reach them. Like they I don't know what's going on. I don't know what best reach them. I know they want their money. You know, I know programs like After School Matters, you know, where they could get a little check. So we need more funds that is dedicated and concentrated on making sure that these kids, you know, just not running the streets.
definitely,
Yeah,
that's gonna
more
take a lot
programs.
of work, a lot
More
of manpower.
programs. I mean, I feel like if you could start a nonprofit thing, it's a lot of money out
Yeah,
there. But
definitely.
you got to find somebody who can get all your paperwork done, and
Right.
that's when you go to the church. I feel like you go to the church. The church should help you. You know, it's people there that know how to do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your congregation, or you treat it as a business. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like, man, you had that department that deals with the public, or, you know, the 4 blocks around the church or whatever, you know what I'm saying, to do things and to keep the neighborhood involved, you know what I'm saying, and force people to be involved. That's the thing. What's up, man? Yeah, you just got to, you know, saying, almost not saying force, but like force, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
force people to be involved, you know what I'm saying, with
Yeah.
wordage and, you know what I'm saying, if you got to hire people to market and all that stuff, then you just got to do it, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's how I
Definitely.
feel like.
So in closing, I hope we've imparted something in you all. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We definitely gonna be doing this again. So y'all stay tuned for the next episode of Cole's Porch. I want to thank you, Marco the Poet, for coming out, Adina and Malcolm, and y'all have a good day. This is Cole signing off.
Peace.